This video shows this process from recordings to basic gesture representation. The basic gesture offers a spatial temporal representation that indicates a sort of reference frame or that is changed or recollected by the dancer in the evolution of the choreography. It may reflect the forms that are in the motor scheme and deployed as dance gestures. The musical cues can also be projected onto the gesture, as seen in the figure here, where the numbers represent the metric cues. So you see it like 0, 1, or 1, 2, 1, 2. These are the metric cues. Now, let's change the viewpoint. Imagine that we collect all these metric cues directly from the trajectories, and we forget about shape. Also imagine that we ignore the trajectories and the notion of shape and start to see the music-dance relationship as spaces with musical qualities. So this region in blue closest to the body becomes the region of the first beat, and this it's more compacted than the region of the second beat, which is far from the body. When we start to talk about space abstracted from shapes and singular relationships such as close, far, compacted, outside, we are basically talking about the language of topology. We developed a method to look at these gestures from this viewpoint, a topological gesture analysis or simple DJ. The DJ borrows elements from the point set topology to build a representation that transforms musical cues and movement into topological spaces. After the process of projection of cues demonstrated before, these point clouds are discriminated here and generalized as geometric structures. Then these structures are placed in the morphology of the dancer to indicate what's the region that the dancer is using in the first beat or in the second beat or in any sort of musical cue. This video shows the process from recordings to topological spaces. We realized several analyses using this method, which are discovered in the thesis. They resulted in observations about dance expertise, spatial reasoning, and the representation of Pinter in the dance space, but they will not be shown in this presentation. In the final part of our research, we analyzed a data set of 30 example dances. The data set was recorded in Brazil in the cities of Belo Horizonte and Salvador. We recorded 15 professional dancers, 6 males, 9 females, using a motion capture system. The task was to dance simple samba dance steps at a slow and fast tempo. We performed an analysis of periodicities and a process of gesture classification. Let's look at the periodicities. We already saw that the music lacks clear periodicities. We have suggested that the dance could disambiguate the musical structure. In order to verify this hypothesis, why not analyze the dataset of dances using the same methodology used to analyze music? We analyzed all the joint trajectories of 30 dance steps using the same methodology applied to music. As we can see here, the results show strong periodicities concentrated in the method levels 2 and 4. The comparison between these two profiles suggests that binary meter, claiming as a characteristic of samba music, is not present in sound, but it's present in movement. It doesn't mean that one has necessarily to dance in order to understand music. It means that you need a reference to solve the metric ambiguity in music. This reference could be found in dance, in movement, in your memory, in your motor, visual, or body schemas. This shows one of the main evidences of the strong dependence between music and dance in samba. Now let's have a look at the process of gesture classification. In this process, we try to investigate how. Sorry. Okay. In this process, we try to investigate how the differences of choreographic origin, gender, and tempo affect the shape of the gesture. The method compares the shapes of the choreography by means of Procrustes analysis. The Procrustes analysis produces a distance or a measure of how choreographies differ from each other. And since we have distance between choreographies, we could build a map of the choreographies using a multidimensional scaling. This map is further discriminated by classes already mentioned. The discrimination split the maps into areas in which we look at the medoids. The medoids are the choreographies that are close to the mean, the model of these classes. Let's look at the results. Here you can see the results for the choreographic origin. You see a map of choreographies. The blue markers indicate the choreographies of Belo Horizonte. The green crosses indicate Salvador. What we can see in these models? In the model of Belo Horizonte, you can see that it shows movements that are large and circular. In contrast, the model of Salvador shows smaller and direct gestures, both danced by female dancers. If you look at the details of the feet, Belo Horizonte marked the beats by projecting the feet forward and backwards, while Salvador do the same thing using lateral movements. Note that there is a high error in the discrimination of Salvador class, which indicates that these movements from Salvador are so different, so variable, that 25% of the class could not be discriminated from Salvador. Let's look at the results from the gender class. These are they indicate that the model of male dance exhibits small and almost line-like movements, danced at fast tempo. The model for female dancers showed large and circular movements as well. Both models come from Belo Horizonte origin, which reinforces the apparent dispersion of Salvador class. Now the models for tempo. These results show a high error, which indicates that the tempi of the music did not imply different shapes of gestures. However, the movements of the medoid of these low classes seem to be more circular, and the fast dancers are more sharp. Concluding remarks. Our contribution seems to have an impact in 4 areas. First, we were able to integrate the study of music and dance in a cross-modal process. We developed new representations and analyses that go beyond traditional representations of music and dance. We extended the scope of musicology by revealing new perspectives on music from the viewpoint of dance and environment. We developed novel methodologies for dance analysis based on empirical data, which provided new viewpoints of dance from the perspective of music. More importantly, we were able to provide a systematic and comprehensive description of the structure of the samba dances. We also provided evidences that clarified the role of the rhythmic ability in the relationships between music and dance. All these contributions were realized without ignoring the elements of the music-dance ecology in Afro-Brazilian culture. These results were disseminated by means of 4 publications in peer-reviewed journals and a series of publications in conferences. My research was supported by Campus Brazil initially, and then by scholarship from both again. We were also granted by with several travel grants and also a best paper award. I should also mention the projects